Davis Raboisai. Nishma Simi Morosirus Pas Mordechai Mendy.
Let's hear it.
Elul. I've been away almost a month. It's been a geschmack a month. There was a little shalachem, a little lachem, a little both. The final trip was Kuli Lashem. It was Lashem Shamayim. It was very matzliach, I think. I hope. We'll see. But I went to Bimchazik the Olam in Brazil. I never even thought, it wasn't on my radar. A few people talked me into it, and I'm happy I did it. We have some very good chaverim over there that I wasn't aware of. And some that I was, Chesky Rosenberg was with us for 7 years. But just to see the island there, it's crazy. It's like, I felt like a New Yorker meeting, coming to Chicago for the first time. It's like, what, there's another city besides New York? It's like, what? There's normal people in Brazil. Yeah, there's thousands of normal from people that dress with white shirts and black hats. And also blue shirts, believe it or not, all the types. But all types, it's unbelievable. So, went there, gave shiurim. The Olam came to hear the shiurim. The Olam was into it. And a lot of people, many people that I spoke to, they get the WhatsApps, they get the videos, even people that don't do this shir. They're familiar, they know what's going on. I went, visited some Gvirim, raised some money for MDY. That was also a big part of the trip. So yishkoyach to my host over there. And, it's just, MDY is mishpacha. The fact that Aryeh, this guy right over here, what's his name? The quiet guy. He bought a ticket. He bought a ticket for $6,500 to come just to join us. But at the end, he had to cancel. Mati Belsky came on his own dime and was very instrumental, helped us a lot over there. Yossi Klein, our CEO, we kind of like expected from him, but he pays with his own money, and he came and he spent the whole week with us. Benny Rudnick the whole week. Who else was with us? Menachem Toker came all the way from Eretz Yisrael. He was mamish. He worked and he pushed and he gave drushes over there. It was very, 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 very positive. So yishkoyach to everybody. Yishkoyach to all the people that hosted us. I'll show you. We had a lunch. I gave a shiur in somebody's office over there, and he said, "You want to eat something?" I said, "Yeah." I've never had such tasty food, and he got a catering company. As I was saying, this was probably the nicest meal that somebody ever made for us, for the 5 chevra, and his family, his mishpach and friends that came. Some sugar. The food was delicious. You're getting out watermelon drinks and this, the Yossi Klein. Well, that's just the dessert. Now comes the meat. The meat, the chicken, the fish, the tuna. You don't see all this stuff. Okay, anyways, many types of food. It's unbelievable. He also had Reb Chaim Kanievsky's stender somehow. I also want to show you, we left Brazil Wednesday night, and we got to Eretz Yisrael today at 3:30 in the morning. And I went straight to part of davening, and I'm giving shiur now, and then I have to give another shiur at 2 o'clock. I have to prepare shiur. So if I'm a little off, a little bit more off than usual. So we found a room. We found a little hotel in Frankfurt, in the Frankfurt airport. The tzibur should know that this exists at gate Z25. There's 40, 50 rooms over there that you can rent 3 hours at a time, $130, but you can mamish take a good nap and a good shower. Check this out. A real room. So I sat on the bed and it gave shiur, and you see it or no? Yeah. It's working now. Yeah, it came back. Got jealous from the other one. But there's no sound, because you turn the sound off. It's fine, it's better without sound for this one. I'll tell you when to turn the sound. So this is the little tiny room, but it has a shower and a bathroom, and here's Benny watching the shiur. I took the picture in the middle of shiur, put a light on myself, To my dear Rebbe, Rebelli, I'd like to share with you something I just did because of what we learned today in the Gemara. When I read this morning, I cried a shtickle. But that's okay. When I'm tired, I cry a lot. So it could go. You might cry also. And I'll tell you why. When you say that you're changing people's lives, I don't think you realize how much my life has changed since I started learning with you. There's a message I sent to my kids I wanted to share with you because it's a small example of the impact that learning Daf Yomi with you has on me. Thank you for everything you have given me through these years of learning with tremendous appreciation your Talmud. You asked me to remove his name. Yesterday we were learning about milchiks and fleishiks. How many hours do you have to wait after eating meat? Seems like from the Gemara you have to wait 6 hours. Those who are makel to 1 hour is because of a taisvus. The taisvus says what the Gemara means between meal and meal is not lavdavka. It's immediately after the meal, after Birkas Hamazon. So the people from Holland, the Shulchan Aruch brings it. The Taz and the Shach went on a whole campaign to convince people not to wait an hour, to do 6 hours, like the Chumrah of the Gemara. So he writes to his children. I don't know if I can read it. To my dear children, today is Rish Chodesh Elul, and in today's Daf Yomi, Chullin Daf 105, the Gemara discusses the laws of waiting between milchiks and fleishiks. According to the minhag of most poskim, the proper waiting time is 6 hours. For some reason, when I was young, I took upon myself the minhag of the Yekis in Switzerland, even though, as we all know, we are not Yekis. For a very long time, I've been meaning to tell you that I myself have changed, and now I wait 6 hours between milchik and fleishik. I'd also like to ask you, if you're following this minhag because you learned it from me, I'd appreciate it if you considered changing as well and waiting 6 hours. You hear this? The change people make. This is the change I'm talking about. Of course, you're all grown up now, and if you are married, you should follow the minhagim of your husband and your family. I'm not telling you what to do and you must do, but if the reason you wait the way you do is something because you learned it from me, then I would like you to know that I've changed my own practice, and I believe it is right for us to wait 6 hours. Thank you for your understanding and always being so dear to me. As we enter the month of Elul, may all be zoicha, good health, happy yar, gebench yar. May all be written and sealed for ksiv and toiva with lots of love, Abba. Many of you know this person. He's a normal guy, geschmacke guy, a successful person. He saw that maybe when he was younger, and we could all relate to these kind of things, minhagim that we took upon ourselves for pretty much no reason, but we were makel. Maybe I should tell my kids about Chalav Yisrael. What are you saying? Send it to me. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I'm going to forget. You also got a shtickle tear there?
I watch you. You make me cry.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm serious.
You cry.
When I'm tired, it comes a lot easier. But dear Belly, I'm 17 years old, and so since I'm in school, we finish the Masechta every year for the last few years, and now I'm in yeshiva too, but I'm sure you know how these things work and the class finishes, but not everyone really does it. I started learning with MDY in the middle of Menachas, and then I went to Zvach when I finished it, and this is the first time in my life when I really finished the Masechta. I can't explain the feeling how it feels for the first time in my life to accomplish such a thing. 17 years old, I never had such a push to learn until I started joining MDY. It's definitely changed my whole look at Torah and how to fill up your free time. Thank you so much. You should be zoichet to bring this good feeling to so much to much others. M.A. Monsey, New York. I gotta say, I said this in the shir yesterday, I'm gonna say it today, because it was mechazik. I know at least one person, and it's gonna mechazik more people. Benny Rudnick learned 20 daf on his flight from Israel to Frankfurt, and from Frankfurt back to Israel, 20 daf chazara. And I'm saying it because he deserves a big round of applause, but also it's a chizuk to other people. You know that when you fly back to Whitney, Shalom Aleichem, how you doing? Thanks for being here. What do you got over here?
What's your present?
I think I know what it is.
No, it's not a book I'm knocking.
It's from you.
Well,
I know.
You can give him my book. You can give him my book.
Wow, let's see what it is. Wow, it's an art scroll. You made it to art school? You always been an art school guy? 10 minutes a day to be a better marriage. I don't need this. Getting your spouse to understand you. Bracha levatala. This is what I call a bracha levatala. Everybody in this room knows that it's not shaykh. You just got to live with them not understanding you. Well, I'm supposed to read this?
Sure.
It takes only an hour a day. It takes only an hour to complete Shas. And it takes only 10 minutes a day to improve a marriage. With Harfel Akarsa Toiv to you and your dedicated team for the most informative, sensational, entertaining, and geschmackish Yurim, devoted Talmud, since Soita. Mayor Wickler, where's the doctor? Shkoyach, beautiful. Should have a lot of stuff. You should sell many copies, but not as many as the MDY book. Just right under, because we're going to be number 1. Coming out soon. Gewaldig. Okay. I want to read more stuff, but... we gotta go weiter. You gotta go weiter. Okay. Rabbi said, breakfast sponsor Yossi Mandelbaum in memory of my little brother, Avi Mandelbaum, Olav Shalom. For 3rd year, will be missing his shofar blowing. On the plane, Benny looks at me, he's learning Sukkah. He goes, you're talking to Avi Mandelbaum. Like, what are you doing here? It's late at night, you're on Zoom. Samlof, Pels, and Kende families dedicated to memory. Daniel Yeager, memory of Rabbi David Teichman, the world's greatest camp director. Daf Kovav. David Solomon, dedicated memory of Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zichron Livracha. The Positive Foundation, may our Torah during the Chodesh Elul bring us closer to Yimei Geula v'Simcha Anonymous, Hatzlach Baruchnis v'Gashmias, and thank you to Chief Benny. Anonymous, for complete refuah Shneim and Arichas Yom to Leibas Esther. Chaim and Leah Levy, in honor of the MDY family. Anonymous, for my birthday and his chus, for the Hatzlacha, my family, Baruchim v'Gashmi, Shmili and Fegi Konig, in honor of Chaim Levy hosting MDY, with Hatzlach B'chol Anyonim. The Tzviz, refuah Shleima, Rikin and Arichas Sheva Batyo, Ari Simon, for Shleima, of Imori Baruch Ben Miriam. The Spanish year sponsors Lili Nishmas Rav Yishaya ben Rav Yosef, Tzvi Lebetkin, Lili Nishmas Eliyo Beryl ben Shmuel Chaim. Daily sponsor Menachem Shapiro in honor of my wife Devoiri on her birthday. She should have a Shnas Hatzlacha Amen. Dan Rubinoff, the famous Dan Rubinoff, in memory of my grandmother Miriam Leibas of Romaharon on the yard side and Shom Shadav and Aliyah. Yitzi Friedman in honor of Alti Yitzchak Isaac ben Rochel Fega, Hazal Beracha, and success in all endeavors. Anonymous. Hatzlacha, Refuah Shlema, and protection for all of Klal Yisrael. Follow the Daf sponsors for the entire year. Anonymous, Refuah Shlema, Isamar Ephraim ben Chaya Blima. Month. Rachel and Alex Katz, in honor of our beautiful children, may they grow in Avos Torah and Yerushalayim, and as Real's here in the room, of course, he came for the early Shacharis that started about what? I thought it started at 6:30, that's the problem. 6:10 today, and Rosh Chodesh, and they probably had to get up at 5 o'clock to get her. Anyway, Shidduch Initiative, Anonymous, Zivik Hagam Makar Mamish.
I missed one at the bottom.
Day, Isaac and Talia Osiel, in honor of Alex and Rachel Katz. Is that how you pronounce the last name? No, Seal.
Cats?
Oh, Seal. Not Cats. Anonymous, Zivuk Hagam Bekarov. Listen, MDY Shidduch Initiative. So for all the people that haven't watched this year, and I'm only referring to 1 or 2 who are sitting right next to me, I'll give you an update. The Shidduch Initiative started 3 weeks ago.
You were in Brazil.
And so far, the way it works is, Reb Nachman, people put in their resumes, and the AI goes to work and decides whether or not there is a match over here. A girl just wrote, Mati Belsky, the one who initiated the whole thing. She's an older single girl. She can't wake up in the morning to see what the computer is suggesting. She's finally getting suggestions.
Somebody talked to me about this. They said that the AI finds whoever's the most compatible.
Right.
He said it doesn't make sense because Shidduchim it's always opposites attract. So the AI should find who's
So hold on, let me tell you the numbers, and then I'll tell you the teretz. So, over 80,000 matches happened. 80,000 matches. There's 2,000 people, but there's 80,000 possibilities. And from them, the AI said this. One of them we're going to knock off the bat because it recommended a man for another man. Okay, so that's -1. But right now, 20 couples are going out.
Amazing.
Now, it might not work out because of Yisfar. And one of them was in St. Paulo, Brazil, and the guy came over to me and he says, I'm going out because of the thing. He's in St. Paulo, Brazil, and somebody in St. Paulo told him about it. So, we'll see what happens. Oh, and there's a chiddush that we're giving $10,000 to the first couple that gets married, but also $5,000 to the second couple and $5,000 to the third couple. So don't just rush there and then get another date. You're the worst consideration to get the 5,000. Can I mention else? He has this chus for Akiva Simcha and Fegi and Rivki this Basi Avachai and our kids too. Out of the month, L'Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther. For Sayela Daniel Zeb Ben Ayel Esther Rabbi Sai. We're holding on Daf Kuf Hey Yom and Beis. We're holding where we need to hold. And we have 10 minutes to do the whole daf. No, but really, how much time do I have? I don't know, because we had a technical difficulty here. We are 22 lines from the bottom of Daf Kuf Hey Yom and Beis, but the good news is that Kuf Vav and Beis is only like 10 lines. So we're holding L'charsam Dechamra Shichra. I did not read it well yesterday in Shir. I'm reading it over. L'charsam Dechamra. If somebody gets a disease by drinking a beverage that has foam on top, so at that lunch, right after we finished the Gemara, they served me like that watermelon drink with that much foam on top, the dafka, lahachis, it's like for the... So, l'charsam dechamra, but if you have foam from wine, what do you do? How do you get out of it? It gives you that nose problem, shichra. You should drink a bunch of beer. The shichra, that we're familiar with, the foam on top of the beer. What do you do with that? Maya, drink water. The Maya, but what if you have foam on top of water? That I'm not so familiar with. I guess it's possible. Less leitakanta, if somebody gets sick because he drank the foam from the top of water, he's up the creek. It's a big problem. Oh, and this is what people say: Basar anya ozlan yusa. The poor get poorer, the rich get richer. Because the poor person can't afford to drink wine, he's drinking water with foam, and that's why he got sick. Had he drank some geschmacka stuff, there's a minhag, some Hasidim have a minhag, never to drink water. That's a minhag, seriously. They have a minhag, they always drink like soda, and they mix things into the water. That's more to get to the sugi later, but it's such a minhag. V'amar Abaya, Rabbi say it's Elul, I know, but Kiyas Shofar goes after Shir. Mereish hava amino haidelo yachli yarko mikisha the osar gino. Doilam is not familiar. Doilam forgot. I wasn't here for a while.
He likes that one. Perfect.
Also, Rabbi say, if you're gonna do it, you wait for my call. I'll call it out. Kia, go. Rabbi say, go, quick, hop around. Yeah, okay. Here, so says Abayo, Mireish, Havamina. In the beginning I thought, look at this this bundle, something like this. The garden would put together like a bundle of vegetables. So all these things he thought were physical things, and then he realized it's more of a ruchnius thing. How come you don't eat this? It looks like you're a chazer, you're a fresser. You can't even wait to untie it, you just pull one out. No, but Rabbi explained it to me. When you do that, then the kishuv could work on you, as the Gemara is going to bring a story. So this, as I said, this whole parag is very gishmak, full of agata, full of stories, and full of halacha l'maisas, things that we do on a day-to-day basis. Says the Gemara Meister, Rav Chizda Rabba Rav Huna Avakazla Ba'arba, they were on a ship. Amr Lahu Matranusa, so Matranisa, one of these women, said, Oisman Ba'adaichu, could I please sit with you? No, it's not proper for G'dayli Oilam. Rav Chizda, Rabba's father-in-law, should sit with a woman. Lo Yisvu, they ignored her completely. Amra Milsa, so she decided to punish them. She said, what is it called when the witches say, like, no, there's a better, a spell. In Panovich we said spell, forget. In your Chashva books, they say those words. The words that me and Mendy could understand. Amra Milsa, Sartila Arba, she made a spell, and she got the ship to get stuck to the wall, it wouldn't move. No, they weren't very impressed. Amri Inu Milsa Sharyu, so Rav Chizda and Rabbi Ravuna, they said something else, and they were able to untie it. So she said to them, I can't even punish you. I can't make any more spells on you. Why? Because you don't do the three things that if people do them, the kishuv could stick to them. You don't use earthenware as toilet paper. In those days, lice was a big problem. And if you saw one crawling on your shirt, you just give it a little kvetch and kill it. No, you don't do that, because if you do that, then kishuv could stick to you. Here, you think it's a simple thing. You think it's a joke. But when you pull out a leek, an onion, something from a bundle without undoing it, it allows the kishuv to stick to you. I'm going to say this again. This is the famous Maharsha in Gittin who says that the Sefer Refuah that there were goynes because people, Chesk was goynes because people stopped davening, Chizkiyo, right? Chizkiyo. You wanted to say yesterday, but you couldn't. The screen. Chizkiyo. He did a few good things, a few bad.
6 altogether.
6.
3 and 3.
They put the Sefer Refuah into the Gemara, hidden in different places, usually in these kind of sugis of Agadata, says the Maharsha in Gittin. So, I don't know how it works and what, but somebody like the Chazon Ish could read this and he could get an idea and he could help people with Refuah. In the beginning I used to think, is there anybody in this room that's careful when a vegetable falls on the floor not to eat it anymore? Anybody? The 3-second rule. 3-second rule? If a vegetable falls on the floor, you don't eat it because it's disgusting, especially after the 3-second rule. Rabbi said no. Now, if you have bad breath, you should know it's because you ate a vegetable off the floor. And we're talking about a chronic bad breath, not because you didn't brush your teeth in the morning bad breath. One of these bad breaths, the nebuch, doesn't go away. I'm saying maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe if you know the source of the problem, maybe you can fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the Chazon Ish and you say, listen, I have bad breath, what should I do? And he says, stop eating vegetables on the floor. So now you understand why he said it. Whatever. Why aren't you supposed to sit under the gutter? Not the gutter in New York, but the gutter on the roof. Because I used to think, because it's a natural thing. Again, all these things you thought were physical things, because people spill water on the roof. Over here, you walk here to MDY, so there's a guy that decided that his washing machine has to go not into the drain, onto the guy's roof, and once in a while you go there and you get a whole thing of soapy water. Why? Azai, he decided. Goes on every day. When he does the thing, he can't walk in the sidewalk. Yeah. My mama macht alle Tag Sponge Gdoila. Sponge Gdoila is, if you go in Meisharim, you know what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, you're walking there and it comes right out of the pipe. So I thought you shouldn't sit under the pipe because it's dangerous. No, you don't stand there, but that's where they like to live. They like to live in the downspouts, in the gutters, in the, what do they call them? I forgot what the real word is. Drain pipes, whatever. So the Gemara brings a story for it. Hani Shokoloi, there were these porters. Sabalim. Davadoru Chaviso de Chamro. They were porters, so they were schlepping a barrel of wine. Bolid Puche. In those days, they didn't have the wheels, they didn't have the tricks that we have. They wanted to rest. So they put it underneath the downspout. Paka, it exploded. Also, now, these are not stam porters. They understood exactly why it exploded, and they had an answer for it. Why did they go to Mar Baravashi? The shofar. They pulled out the shofar, and they blew the shofar. Kiss from Hashem. Why? Because Mar Baravashi, it seems like these porters also understood that a barrel of wine doesn't just explode. The ones who are responsible for the explosion of this barrel are shadim. A shade must have done it. They wanted to sue the shade by Mar Baravashi. So you go to Mar Baravashi. What do? He starts calling the shade to come. The shade doesn't show up. So he put him in Cherim. Also Kamei. So the shade was nervous. He didn't want to be in Cherim. It's hard to understand why and how, but that's how it is. So he shows up to the Bezin. Why did you break their barrel? They placed the barrel on my ear. It was a little painful. You know what I'm saying? So I smashed it. It's your fault that they put it on your ear. What are you doing in a place that people go back and forth. It's the middle of Rosh Hashanah. Atush Shanisa, you're the one that changed the way things are supposed to be. Zil Shalem, you must pay. Now, as far as I know, Shadim don't walk around with wallets. They don't have credit cards. How is he going to pay? So he has to go Bitcoin. Who said Bitcoin? My brother? Bitcoin. I don't want to talk about this Bitcoin mice I heard. I hope it's not true. There's a mice going around now about a firm person who stole a lot of money and ran away and put it all in Bitcoin. But it could be just a rumor. Hopefully it's just a rumor. Unclear. Hopefully it stays unclear. But if not, you heard the story here. First, Bitcoin. Omar lei, hashtanami likbali mar zimna ve'efra. She says, you know what? I don't have any Bitcoin. I don't have any cash. Give me some time to figure it out. I'll pay it. Give me a date. He says, okay, come back next week at this time. Kimot zimna Yaakov. They're waiting and waiting, and the shed doesn't show up. What kind of chutzpah is this? You told me you're going to come at 12 o'clock. It's already who knows how long later. I had a problem. Anything that's sealed and you could count. We don't have permission to go take from there. We have to take only from Hefker. Only things that are, Taisus explained, some Menayin, kids are things that the owner is not aware of that it came. It's Hefker. And we couldn't find that. I couldn't find anything Hefker. Oh, so you see from here that don't sit underneath the gutter because that's where the Shadim are. Here we go. He's protecting his ears. He doesn't want anybody to put a barrel in his ear again, so he has his ear. Okay? Zok the Gemara. V'amar Abaya, another Abaya. Mereish Hava Amina, in the beginning I used to think, Hai Deshadu Mai Mipuma, the Chatzba. Some people, they take like a pitcher and they don't drink. Chassidim do this. They spill a little bit off the top. Like, you know, the Tzachadash B'chav on Pesach. You spill a little bit. Why? Mishum Tzifto. I thought it's a normal thing. If you look, sometimes there's like dust that falls into your cup. Little things fall. If you look closely in a cup, you're not going to want to drink the top layer. You spill it off. No, Rabbi says, these are waters that the Shadim drank from, and they're very dangerous to human beings. Once the shade puts his mouth on it, what's a shade? The shade is a half a human, half a... The Gemara talks a lot about Shadim. They were created, they got stuck by Sheshim Mebrachis as Shabbos came in, so they're like in the middle of being created, so they got stuck in that... They could have relations with human beings. They could have children. There's a lot of interesting things about Shadim. So in Mela, I was once friends with a guy. I was once friends with a certain person. My father says, why are you friends with him? He's a shade. You can't be friends with the guy. He's a shade. Stay away from him. I'm like, okay. I hope our shade, if you ever run into a person that's like mamish, like, he's a shade. You should just know. A shade. Some of you are married to shadim. I hope our shade the have it by Rapapa. Oh! Does this help? help if you're married to a shade. Yeah? This helps for shadim also, so why doesn't it say on the bottom? For shadim as well.
The next volume.
I hope I shade to have a baby Rav. Azalasui Maim and Haro. So there was a shade that was working for Rav Papa. He was working for him. What good are they? You chop him and you make him work for you. Azalasui Maim and Haro. So he told him, go get some water. They didn't have faucets in those days. I'm going to schlep the water, have a shade, free. Yaakov, the shade took his time, didn't show up. Now these are Rav Papa's getting thirsty. What kind of chutzpah is this? You're late. I needed to wait there until the bad waters of other shadim that drained from it went downstream, and I was able to get you nice clean water. He gives them, and all of a sudden he sees that Rav Papa is pouring off the top layer. Omar, if I would know that that's your minhag, maybe it's a new shed, I don't know, he just started working there, he's new in the job. If I would have known that you pour out the top water, I would have drawn the water, you would have poured out the top layer, you would have gotten rid of all the shed water, and you would have clean water. As Taisves, why didn't he just bring the water right away and pour the top layer? So he says that he was nervous from the other shadim. He didn't want the other shadim to know that he's giving over the tricks of the trade. Shadim like to put the poison in the water and harm people, and you can't just go against your own people. Here's another one.
Shady business.
Oh, Adahachi. Chaznu, the Gashadu Mayim Mipum the Chatzbo. Yeah, okay, we did this. Dafko Vavam Madal, 3 lines from the top. Oh. I know, I see now I'm already looking at me. Kyoser of Dimi Omar. Mayim Orishoinim Echilu Besar Chazer. There was a famous story. That was the time of when the Goyim were, the pogrom, what is it called? When the Goyim were Goyim Xeris and Klal Yisrael, and people shmad, and people were hiding from the Goyim, they pretending they were not Goyim. And a guy had a restaurant. And he would look at the patrons, at the people coming in, and if he saw that they were Goyim, he would give them a chazer. And if he saw that they were Jewish, he'd give them kosher. So he's watching this guy, and he sees that he didn't wash his hands for Habayitzi. So he realized right away he's not Jewish, so he served him chazer. So it says, Mayim Rishonim Echilu B'sar Chazer. He was Jewish. And because this guy wasn't makbid on Mayim Rishonim, on the first waters, he's a chazer for a boisai. If you're listening to the few past daf, what's more important? To wash your hands before you eat bread, or to wash your hands right before Bikkur Samazon? What do you say? Bikkur Samazon is obviously more chomer, as all the Poiskin, Paskin. We're not so makbid on it sometimes. Amayim Achroinim? Mayim Achroinim. More people are makbid on Mayim Rishonim than Mayim Achroinim. The shaila is why?
Because it is. Chazer.
No.
You could eat chazer.
No, that's not. But the halacha is, la halacha, Mayim Achroinim are more important. Okay? Achroinim. And what happened with Mayim Achroinim? Hoitziu es ha'isha mebala. The reason why people are not so makbid, and I said this in Shul, I'll say it again. Achroinim, what was the story with the famous story that Kidor had a few chacham by him, and they gave, it was the minhag to give your money to the balabas. You mafkid your money. Maybe it was over Shabbos. He had a safe, whatever he did. And when they came to get the money back, he said, I don't know what you're talking about. You never gave me the money. So they went to the wife and they noticed that he had like a bean on his mustache. He forgot to wipe to wash his mouth. So they went to the wife and they said, your husband Kedar said that you should give us the money where you hid it. And as a simon, he said that we ate, the two of us, Kedar and the wife, we ate lentils today for lunch. So she got the simon, she understood it, and she gave him the money. When he came home, he found out what happened, so he divorced her, or he killed her. So says the Gemara, so that's why you wash my machronim, because my machronim, you wash your hands, plus you go like this to your mouth, and you wash everything is great. Tosfos says, I'm going to just say it again, because I said over the story in Shir without saying the name. I'm not going to say the name. A certain person that I ate by him a few times wasn't so makbid on, he's sitting here on this table, from Shloisha Rishonim. And I'm just saying it for you because you didn't listen to Shir. Everybody else knows the story. So he wasn't so makbid on my machronim. And then I asked him about it. He said, nah, it's not so important. So I went to the store and I got a my machronim thing, like a whole silver thing, and I gave it to him. And I was sure that I was going to solve the problem. And then I ate by him again, and he's not doing my machronim. So I asked him, where is it? He says, oh, where is it? He got all nervous. He starts looking, he starts taking everything out of the closet, and it's nowhere to be found. So when I was learning that Gemara, I sent him this Gemara. I just get a snapshot, sent it to him. So he sends me back a picture of the, like as if he found it. I told him, you don't have to lie to me. I know you bought a new one or whatever. You went to the store. Didn't look anything like the thing I gave him. Whatever. So why does that person, why is he not makbid? Because there's a Taisus not here. There's a Taisus in Erevin.
Not a thing anymore, Melchizedek.
Oh, Taisus says there's no Melchizedek anymore. But the Shulchan Aruch brings Taisus, and he says that just like everything else in the Gemara, like there's no snakes anymore, but yet we're makbid on my megulim and all these things. You should be makbid on that, and the Shulchan Aruch talks about it, and we are makbid on my machronim more than my Rishonim. My Rishonim is also, we don't have truma now. We don't have this, but we. By the way, the Taz says that from now on, from the story of Kedar, when there's a mamzer, so the Rav calls the baby Kedar. So everybody knows, if you bump into Kedar, you know he's a mamzer. He also Ravin Omar, and he says the story is different. Rishonim echilu b'sar nevela. The first one wasn't the chazer, it was nevela. So let me ask you something. What's worse, to eat a nevela or chazer, or they're the same? What's worse? Nevela is worse. Anybody say chaz is worse?
PR-wise, it's worse.
You say chaz is worse because you saw the share before. You also saw the share before. It's great. So we're asking great kasha. It's more chomer to eat a chazer. Why? Because a chazer, Rashi says, is also nevela. It's two yisurim. It's a nevela plus a chazer. As is like Rashi. The Gemara says it, not Rashi. He also Rav and Rashi just explains. This is worse on the second part. My machronim killed the woman because she gave the money to the chachamim. He killed her. He didn't divorce her. And how are you going to remember who said what? Also Rav Dimi, Apka. It's not really for us, but it's people in that generation that knew that Rav Dimi came to Bavel, and only afterwards, imagine by us, if the Chavetz Chaim came to Eretz Yisrael, and then came the Chazon Ish, we would know which one came first. In our minds, we know Chavetz Chaim came first, then came the Chazon Ish. So he says, Rav Dimi says that he divorced her. Also, Ravin Katla. And Ravin came second, he says he killed her, because you can't kill somebody and then divorce them. You can only divorce and then kill. So the divorce happened first, and Rav Dimi was first in Eretz Yisrael, or to Bavel, so we know that it was Rav Dimi that said divorce, Ravin said he killed. Rabbi Abba, he says, he takes the two stories and he says the worst of the worst. The restaurant story was Chazer. The Maimachroidim story was that he killed her. Why is Chazer more chomer than Avela? Says Rashi, because you're over on two Yisurim. On Avela, Besar Chazer chomer and Avela, this is by Trei Yisurei, says Rashi. So if you learned one thing today, people say, oh, Daf Yomi, it's too fast, it's this. So you learn one thing today. I'm not sure you learned 10 things, but even just one thing. Chazer has two Yisurim. Nevela and Chazer. Itmar. Huh? It's together. You mean, is this okay? Ayin in the sugi before. Itmar. Chamei Ur. What happens when you have boiling hot water? So I wrote here, last time around, in my Gemara, that it's an Isser for the Aveir, not for the Einish. So I don't know if that answers your question. Now we had a whole sugi yesterday that boiling water you could use for Netilas Yadayim. Remember I said over the story from the seminary girl that came to my house and she turned on the hot water by mistake. I'm saying just all these stories I'm saying over for these guys. She turned on the hot water on Shabbos and then she comes out, she goes, I had to leave the hot water on for the whole Shabbos because I couldn't turn it off because I realized it's hot water and I turned it on by mistake. She left on my hot water for 24 hours basically, from Friday night all the way. So, are you allowed to use the hot water? What are you supposed to do? I don't even know. She might be right, but I was annoyed at her at the time. Like you machmer my cheshbon, you know? Shkoyach cost me $400. She's heating up the water the whole Shabbos, and then I just show you know what it means to leave on your faucet for 24 hours? It's like $1,000 over here. So how's Chizkiah arguing the Gemara that we had yesterday? You're allowed to wash your hands for hamaitzi with boiling hot water, and he says, "Ain't nothing in the yadayim." Says Rashi Chidush, the Chizkiah is a Tana. Chizkiah is a Tana. He's mechaber, I think the Brises, no? He's a Tana, and he's mecholik on what we learned yesterday. Ain't nothing in the yadayim. You can't use boiling hot water for your hands. Rabbi Yochanan Omar, nothing in the yadayim. You could. Oh, Rabbi Yochanan, Shalti's Rabbi Gamliel Benoisha Rebbe. I asked Rabbeinu HaKadosh's son, Rabbi Gamliel, V'oichal Tahara, and he's a special person that used to eat Chullin, B'Tahara. The people in Galil, they would use boiling hot water for Hamaitzi. What about Chamei Tveria? So what is Chamei Tveria? Chamei Tveria is 60 degrees. What's 60 degrees Celsius? 140. 140? How do you do the math so fast, Shamshi?
60 times 1.8 plus 32. These two guys.
60 times 1.8, which is how much? 108.
Like, obviously. Like,
oh my goodness. This room is a zgula to put you in your place for Hanava. I sit with these clowns that know math. Then I sit here with the guys that know Shas Bal Peh, and they're throwing out. You just, okay. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you a brain the size of a pea. Okay, you got to make do with it. That's what it is. So Statistic says, Rabbi said to be toivel your hands in water. You're on a trip, and there's a river. You put your hands in. It's better. It's more effective. There's a special bracha for it. You don't say Netilas Yadayim, you say Al Tvilas Yadayim. But it's more effective than washing your hands. So it says Rabbi Yochanan, Chizkiah says, no, you can't wash your hands with boiling hot water. But if you want to stick your hands in there and burn them, that's okay. Rabbi Yochanan, you could jump in, like these guys in the mikveh, with I don't know how they do it, the mamish, the heist mikveh. But do not put your hands, ignore the panim in the raglayim right now. We're talking about the hands. You cannot wash your hands for Hamaitzi in the water, says Rabbi Yochanan. Says Hashtag Gufi Toivel Behem. You can put your whole body. It's Toivel. Your yaitza for tefillah deraisa even. You can jump in and boil it. Why can't you put your hands in there? So Rapapa makes order over here. If the hot water is a chamitfer in chamitfer, the kuli amaloi pligi dishari, your yaitza and chamitfer if you put your hands into the chamitfer. Mishkom v'naya b'mana. There used to be, I don't know if you guys ever go, but we used to go Thursday night. They have like a whole matzav, and I don't know how real it is. Is it real? What do you say? Chamet Gader. Not over here, in Tveria. It's like a big pool, and they have Chullin there. Thursday night matzav. So Mishkom Minayo, Bimkom in the Kulamali Pligi the Shari. If you do it in Chamet Tveria. Mishkom Minayo Bimona, if you take water out of Chamet Tveria, and you put it in the kli, the kulamali pligi, the aser. It's no good because you lose the mikvah part and it's boiling hot. Ki pligi, the paskinu bebas beirasa. If it's connected to chametz tver, you made a channel coming out of it. This is just for pshat. Here's chametz tver over there, and you connect a little pool to chametz tver. Now the problem is, it could look like a kli. It doesn't look like it's chametz tver. It's its own little thing. Mar sovar gezrinin bar birta tumana. Yeah, he's with his clothes, fine. So why does Yossi Klein go into the thing with the shtreimel? Because he is. Mar sovar gezrinin bas birta tumana. Mar sovar like gezrinon. Another one says, we're not geyser on this. You know what, it came to my mind, so I'm going to say it over here. I know some people don't watch the email part, and also our host doesn't really watch the email part, but the amount of work that he put in for weeks before he came, and he went out of his comfort zone, and he set up meetings with his friends to support MDY, and it's very hard, because I know people ask me if I can make meetings with my father-in-law, and this one, can you do it? And I usually say no. You know, it's like it's uncomfortable to go to the friends. And he went out of his way, and we were matzliach Baruch Hashem. And people say, but why? Well, what's going on here? What do you need? So first of all, our budget is $3 million. We have a lot of people that could afford to give more, and they don't give b'chlal. Just this week, a guy said he wants to give a very large donation. After his wife asked him, how come you don't give MDY? You give everywhere, you don't give MDY. He says, she's right. So I spoke to him on the phone. He says, don't worry, I'm going to give a huge donation, v'chulu, v'chulu. But why? Because our budget is $3 million. But why $3 million? We have 60,000 people that watch this year every day. So $3 million is the budget of a yeshiva that has 150 people. We have 60,000 people. A lot of people say, so why did Stefansky pay it? Halavai should be able, if I had the $3 million to pay every year, I would. I wouldn't give the schus to anybody. I would be like the guy from Dirshu, no, the other one from Kol Elshon. He doesn't let anybody. I would. Selfish, what? I know, everybody knows Dirshu, but I'm saying even Kol Elshon. And this coming year, we have massive, massive expenses way above the $3 million. We have to do a whole Siyum Shas here in Eretz Yisrael, which costs probably like $1 million. And we have to do something massive in America as well. So that's why we're preempting it and we're going out. So if you know people, the big trick is, if you know somebody knows somebody, there's somebody in this room, I'm not going to say his name, he's sitting on the left side, he might have a little kid with him. He introduced us. Introduced us to somebody that could give a massive donation. So we went to his house in Muncie, Bezer Hashem. All you need to do is make that introduction. We'll do the work. But there's so many people that watch this year, they don't know, they're not aware that we need it. So I'm letting you know now here, not in the email part, we do need it. It was a tremendous tircha to go to Brazil. It was not fun, but it was kedai. So the Olam could help. And we don't have to go to these trips, but we might have to go again. I might have to go, seriously, I might have to go to Brazil in a few more months. Nachamo. Avi said I have to go again. Right? You never know. But if the Olam helps me out, then I won't. Zog Gemara. Kitanoi. Maim shenifsalu mishtias behema. You have water that's no good for an animal. Says Rashi. You're not going to believe this. Like Chami Tveria. It's true. If you ever went to Chami Tveria, you don't want to drink that water. It's a fascinating question. Listen to this, sulfur. What happens to water that's disgusting, like the Chami Tveria, but you're able to boil it down, you clean it out, clean it up. Poskim hold, a lot of poskim, can't use it anymore. Once it becomes puzzle, it's puzzle. You can't put it through filtration of it. So there's a massive problem here in Eretz Yisrael. A lot of the water comes from the ocean. Ocean water is not roy la'achilas kelev. No dog in the world could drink that water. It's impossible. You drink it, you die. So they filter it out and they make it this and that, and I don't know exactly. It doesn't. Okay. So you're taking water and you're changing whatever you want to change. It goes through a whole process. Okay, I don't know exactly what they do here. But the question, let's say it's like that. Let's say you take salt water, you put it on a pot, you boil out the salt. Let's say it's that simple. Are you allowed to use the water? According to them, you're not allowed to use the water. It'll be a big problem. How do you wash netilas yadayim with that water from your sink? Throwing it out, stop. Give another chumrah. Now people are going to be importing water from America. So we have this water that became no good for animals. Bekalim psulim. If it's in a kli, it's no good. Bekarka ksherim. Because check this out. If water is in the ground, do you know that mikvah water, even if it's not very tasty and you can't, a lot of mikvah water today is not roy la'achilas kelev. And then it occurred to me, imagine the time of Beis HaMikdash when they had these mikvahs that were not, they didn't come from streams, just, there's no filtration, there's nothing. Like, what happens over there? How do they, it's a shtickle problem. If it's in a karka, it's okay. Why? Because mikvah water, even if it's mechur, it's good.
That's our economist reason.
If it's in the karka, you're allowed to put your whole body in there. And the Gemara is going to ask the question, how's it possible you can put your whole body in there and become tar, but not your hands? It must be the story like you see on the screen here, that he made a channel. It looks a little bit like a kli. We're not geyser. Why in the world do we wash our hands every single day for Hamoitzi, on Shabbos for Hamoitzi? To make it a routine, to make it a hergel, that when the Kohanim, Beis Hashem, when the Beis HaMikdash comes, their hands should be tar for Truma. See here what's going on here? In order that the Kohanim shouldn't mess up when the Beis HaMikdash is Kayim. So for generations, thousands of years, since the Churban Abayis till now, even Yisraelim have to wash their hands. But this idea of the hergel, because no matter what, you learn this from the Daf Yomi. One of the biggest things in Daf Yomi is getting used to something, getting used to doing the daf every day. It becomes ingrained, it becomes like a motor skill. What is it called? A muscle. It becomes a muscle memory. So you wash your hands, automatic. People that were on the derech and off the derech, you'll see, they come to your house. The first thing, they go to this thing, it's muscle memory. That's something that never really, so the idea is to make many things in your life muscle memory. Shnai Mikra that we're going to talk about a lot, Beis Hashem, in the coming weeks. Chazara, working out, eating healthy, working in your marriage for 10 minutes a day, muscle memory. And another reason, Mishum mitzvah. My mitzvah, what's the big mitzvah? It's a mitzvah to listen to the Chachamim. Rav Amar mitzvah l'shmoya divrei Rebbe Elazar ben Aruch. So Rav is playing around with the words here. You're saying it's a mitzvah to hear the Chachamim, it's a mitzvah to listen to Rebbe Elazar ben Aruch. Basically what he's trying to say is it's a deraisa. It's not a Chachamim, it's a deraisa. Why? Anything that a zav is avatuma. He has the same tuma like a sheretz. You touch a zav touches you, you become tamei. You become a rishon. And the pasuk says, and you didn't wash your hands in water. So we have to understand what this pasuk means. You have to go to the mikveh. Forget about washing your hands in the water. This is where you see the tisidayim. And that's how Rava knew this. That's why Rava said it's not a chacham, it's a deraisa. Because Rava asked his Rebbe, Rav Nachman, my master, what is he talking about? What do you see? It seems like if he would wash his hands, he would become tar. How can a person become tar if he touched the zav just by washing his hand in the sink? You need to be tar by your body. Hello, the pshat in the pasuk is not a real pshat in the pasuk. It's a asmacht in the pasuk. V'acher, nothing to do with the zav. Nothing to do with the zav. A person, a regular person, shalei tamei. If you don't wash your hands before hamaitzi, you're tamei. Great. It says in my Gemara, I'm reading this for the very first time. I can see it actually, because on the plane, when I did use this Gemara, I didn't see this at all. Actually, I didn't use this Gemara on the plane. It says over here, Shir Eitzel Avi Kamiansky. So you look, 7.5 years ago, there was a shir in your house. I don't know if it was Sukkot, I don't know what it was. That's what it says right over here. Omer Rebbe Lazar, Omer Rebbe Shaya. Why do we wash our hands for fruit? It's just for cleanliness alone. So in the beginning we thought maybe it means you're not mechuyev to, but there is some sort of mitzvah. Rava says this has nothing to do with halacha, with the rabbanon. This is stam. Even non-Jews wash their hands before they eat fruit. So you see from here a big side that if you try to be machmer and something shouldn't be machmer, you're balgaiva. Some people, they take upon themselves these things, they go walk around the street, they do funny things. It's gaiva. Rav Nachman says you shouldn't wash your hands at all. I was by Rabbi Ravasi. I'll call it the Perry. We have to find out how many times Rabbi and Ravasi are mentioned together, like a chavrush shav, they're always together. Isaac Amayuk, I'll call it the Perry. They brought a whole basket of fruit to them. They ate without washing their hands. They didn't even give me anything. What does it mean they didn't give me anything? And they benched each one to themselves. So the Gemara says, what do you mean? They didn't give me. Why should I give you? Why should they share? Who says they have to share? Three things. First of all, they didn't wash their hands. You don't wash your hands for fruit. Now, of course, Rabbi said, if the fruit is wet, you must wash your hands. Do you say a bracha? Do not say a bracha? So that's a machlokes. We paskin. You don't say a bracha. The Vilna Gaon says you do say a bracha, but that's something else. But everybody should wash. If you have like grapes, you just wash your grapes and they're wet. You have to wash your hands. Everybody holds you have to wash your hands, just like you wash your bread. Prayers. You don't make zimun on fruit. How do I know you don't make zimun on fruit? Because they didn't invite him to be the third one. That's what he's saying. Why did they say, hey, if you're eating bread, two people are eating bread, and their friend walks in, what you should do is say, make a moitzi, macha moitzi, come be mitzdarf, now we'll have a good zimun. Shalom aleichem, how you doing? Now there's a big mitzvah for one person to bench and be moitzi. Everybody say Baruch Adon Hashem. We were at Chabad in Brazil. They had a very nice minhag because they have, the type of people, academics that come, but the new to Yiddishkeit, they say Kriya Shema word for word from beginning to end. Everybody, Shema Yisrael Hashem. Everybody says it together. It's Kishmak. Nice thing. So mitzvah lechalek. But when you only have two people, one person should not make a bracha for another person. Interesting thing, it happens a lot. I just thought about it. Sometimes you're here in a kiddush, and someone says, "Can we moitzi mi alamichya?" No. Say it yourself, says the Gemara over here. It's a halacha in Shulchan Aruch. Shnayim she'achlu mitzvah lechalek. It's better for two of them to say it by themselves and not to be moitzi someone else. No? You never had this at a kiddush?
They ask that when they're on the shore if they had a shear. If I had a shear.
Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes they're lazy and they don't have the bencher and they say, go. I don't know about peh. Who knows how many people here know about peh? Don't embarrass yourselves. Right. If you be moist for multiple people, that's okay. Maybe. It says 2 that 8. They both know how to read. If you invite somebody that's new to the religion, doesn't know how to read, so it's a mitzvah, it's a good idea to bench for that person. Don't give him a bencher in English and have him break his teeth. So Ada Perek, Rabbi Isai, here we're going to go. People have 1, 2, 3, 4 joints until you get to your hand. This, we're not going to even talk about this first joint. We'll talk about this. This is the second joint, right over here. So, I'll show you in a picture. Let's see. Ada Perek. That's the joint that we're talking about. The blue line. The Truma, we go to the next joint. Ad Perik. It's confusing, right? If you don't see Rashi, what's Ad Perik? You think it's the same joint. No, it means the next one. Where it says Truma right over here, what we call in English, what do we call that in English? Knuckles. Okay. Kiddush Yadayim v'Raglayim b'Migdash. They used to wash their hands in the Beis HaMikdash from the Kiyar Ad Perek. That's already till the wrist. So now, by the way, I'm just throwing this out there. It's my pet peeve. People come to my house, my kids. I notice a lot of times people wash their hands almost like it's Yom Kippur today. You know, they do like Negelwasser, literally. What does Negelwasser mean? Nail water. They're just the nails. Like, what? So we're supposed to wash until our wrist. Why? Because the Rif learns this whole sugya. He starts one more this way. So kids, if he gets to the wrist, he's at the wrist where we only get to the knuckles. So Meila, the Shulchan Aruch says, if you have enough water, you should go to the wrist. So it's kedai to go to the wrist. Turn to the daf. Ankor Healthcare as chos for Klal Yisrael this Elul. Shmuel and Ahuva Schuster as chos for Yom Adin. Amen. Adar Global, specialist in international financial services. Tzvila Betkin, Zech Nishmas, Elio, Beryl, Ben Shmuel, Chaim, Yishkoich Ta'olam here, all four of you, for keeping it nice and short. Anything that's like a chatzitza that you put like dirt on your hand and it's not a good for tefillah. You have to make sure that your hands. That's why women take off the rings, etc. L'chulin. And the same thing applies to. We'll stop over here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDAF.com.